Hey Alaric,
What now?
if a Liberator is released from prison for zero bail, was freedom freed for free? Freaky. The Liberator is designed to be a fast and versatile Terran air power. Considering that they can be made from a reactored starport, it's actually possible to field quite the fleet with a good economy. To the tune of 150, 150, and 43 seconds of build time, you too can own one of the seemingly few Terran units that does not start with the letter M. Similar to some other units, Liberators have two modes that they can switch between. The first is Fighter Mode. This is the mode that all Liberators are in when they're fresh off the starport grill. In Fighter Mode, the Liberator can fly around and has an anti-air splash attack, firing 2 rockets every 1.29 seconds that each deal 5 damage to all enemies hit. The second mode is Defender Mode. Don't let the name fool you though. That anti-ground cannon is ready to dispense aggressive freedom on anything that even looks in the direction of the circle. When initiating Defender Mode, you will need to select the location that you want the Liberator to watch over. Once selected, they will fly to within range and then set up shop until told to transition back into Fighter Mode. The anti-ground cannon in Defender Mode deals 75 damage to a single target every 1.14 seconds. Yikes. It should be noted that the cannon attack cannot target buildings, though.
Incoming orders. Standing by. Initiating.
Now let's discuss application. Remember that I said it was designed to be versatile? Yeah, designed being the keyword there. In truth, it's probably better that you just consider Liberators to be an anti-ground artillery ship. The anti-air capabilities are just lackluster compared to other options such as Stim Marines, Vikings, or Thors. Don't consider it useless though. It is an okay answer to something like Mass Muta or Phoenix, but I think you'll find the anti-ground mode to be much more useful. Liberators have 2 primary uses. The first is economic harassment. Being a flying unit with solid anti-ground range makes the Lib a great candidate to help reduce your opponent's number of workers. Additionally, they can be built relatively quickly since their only tech requirement is a starport. The second use is as part of a late-game composition. Being an airborne siege tank has quite a few perks and cements the Liberator as an excellent tool against key late-game ground targets. You can lock down your own bases defensively or strike terror into the hearts of enemy units such as siege tanks, disruptors, or lurkers. As a final note, there is a research upgrade for Liberators available at the Fusion Core. Advanced Ballistics takes 79 seconds and increases the range of Liberator's Defender Mode from 10 to 13. Allow me to clarify something though. This upgrade does not increase the shape or the size of the circle. It increases the distance between the Liberator and the circle. So it is technically a range increase, yes, but it feels like it's targeted more at keeping the Liberators safe. Thinking generally about Liberators, they can be an incredibly strong tool that forces specific micro or decisions to be made from your opponent. It is not without its weaknesses though. The anti-air attack is relatively weak. In defender mode, they cannot move and they can only hit one target at a time. For a simple heuristic for counters, you can think about things that can outrange them, outnumber them, or avoid the freedom zone entirely. Terran players, Liberators are an easy go-to answer for breaking siege tank lines. That fact is one of the reasons that the standard TVT build has a focus on air control. Pay your tributes to the Norse pantheon and keep a fleet of Vikings on standby. If Vikings are not your style though, Stim Marines are an option for trying to overwhelm the freedom zone.
Sure thing. I'm on it. Sure.
Thors, in their high impact mode, outrange Liberators that have not received the advanced ballistics upgrade. For an ultra late game option though, battlecruisers are a good choice. Yes, my battlecruiser loving gold Terrans, you heard me. Go wild. Protoss, I see Liberators come out to play as an answer to the ground death ball. Archons, Immortals, Disruptors, etc. Your perfect solution lies with the Stargate. If it's still in early game territory and the Liberators are being used for harassment, Stalkers with Blink can do fine. As the game goes on though, you will need to incorporate your own air forces. Tempests perform the best if you can give them the vision. Carriers are a less micro-intensive option, and Void Rays should be a last resort. Stim Marines love fighting Void Rays.
Target confirmed.
My Zerg friends, I'm going to categorize your options into fancy and not fancy. The not fancy options are simple and reliable. Corruptors and Hydralisks. Corruptors are definitely better, but if you're neck deep in a Hydra Bane build, I do understand it's tough to pivot sometimes.
Course set.
Now for the fancy options. First up, the Ravager. Corrosive Bile is quick, efficient, but incredibly micro-heavy. However, you only need to land 3 Biles to kill the Liberator. Catch them quick enough, and they won't even have time to unsiege. The second fancy option is the Viper. For Vipers to work though, you will need some supporting units such as Hydralisks. Parasitic Bomb is okay, but since Libs have 180 health, I recommend Abduct much more. Fun fact, by the way, Abduct will interrupt the Liberator's defender mode, reverting it back into its anti-air mode. You can use that to dislodge or isolate Liberators away from an entrenched position. They may not be flashy or have a name that starts with the letter M, but Liberators can be supremely helpful. break enemy tank lines, snipe off key targets, or lock down those choke points. If you found this helpful, hit those fancy YouTube buttons for me, leave a comment, or check out the Patreon link in the description below. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day.